When attending a funeral, you can sense all of the death that surrounds you at the graveyard. You have to admit, there can't be anywhere else in the world that would be more haunted. They can feel eerie but peaceful at the same time. Walking through a graveyard can be terrifying for some. Just think of all the thoughts that runs through your mind, such as tripping over a tombstone or falling into someone's never-ending grave. You are walking over dead bodies, you know. And who really knows how many times someone has been buried there? Just the thought of this makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Here's the top 2 most terrifying haunted graveyards with the Nighthawk. Now, I couldn't do this video without including the St. Louis Cemetery in New Orleans, considered by some to be the most haunted cemetery in the US. Sightings of ghosts and unworldly things have been cited for over hundreds of years. It's filled with thousands of marble tombstones and memorials, but some say there could be as many as 100,000 bodies buried on the 10 acres of land. Over the years, people have reported hearing moaning and grumbling noises within the gates. A man's face from the 1800s has been seen floating throughout the graveyard by visitors as they scroll by the cemetery at night. The ghost of Mary Lou has been cited the most. She was a voodoo queen, and her tombstone is visited by more than 100,000 people every single year. Often known for the 3 X's that visitors leave on her tombstones, some believe that she would grant any wish or prayer that you desire. She died in 1881 and has been sighted walking throughout the graveyard, performing spiritual dances over the dead bodies. But one of the most scariest stories comes from a taxi driver that hit a 7-year-old girl in front of the main entrance. She died on impact, and the taxi driver didn't stop to report the accident, but later was found and sentenced to prison. It's said that every night around midnight, until the early parts of the morning, that every taxi that passes by, she appears in their back seats, asking, "Why didn't he stop? Why didn't he help me? He left me to die." And then she vanishes. Some taxi drivers are even reported seeing her glowing eyes in their rearview mirrors. With so many sightings and paranormal activities surrounding the cemetery, it has become known as one of the most sought-out places for ghost hunters to visit in the world. And even Nicolas Cage has a pyramid-shaped tombstone built there for himself that he wishes to be placed after his own death. Stall Cemetery has been placed among the most haunted places in the US. Although abandoned, it still attracts thousands of visitors each year. Located in the small town of Stall, Kansas, and for many years, stories of witchcraft and ghost sightings have been reported. On the east end of the property was an old church built back in 1903, but later was demolished. It's said to have a set of stairs that some have ventured down that leads to absolutely nowhere. Visitors reported walking for hours in darkness before turning around and never finding the end of the staircase. Some also say that this is where the devil makes his appearance twice a year. It is urban legend, but on March 20th and on Halloween, people travel from far and near in hopes of catching a glimpse of the devil himself. One of the most well-known stories is of 2 girls that wandered into the graveyard at night. It's said that they went into the church that had no physical doors nor roof, and it began to rain. While inside the church, somehow never got them wet, nor anything within the church. Upon leaving, they were engulfed into what some of the locals said was the storm of the century, and they were never seen again. In 1993, Pope John Paul II was flying over Kansas and demanded that his pilot take his plane east because he did not want to fly over Stall Cemetery. He said that it was one of the most cursed places on the earth. What do you think? Thank you for tuning in with the Nighthawk tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day or your night to listen to my top 2. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to hear, please leave in the comment section below. Go ahead and finger that little subscribe button over there in the right hand corner. I'd really appreciate it. And hit that little bell to make sure you're getting up my notifications for my new videos. Again, thanks a lot. And always remember, he's watching.